Most visitors come to Penang for Georgetown, the colourful streets, heritage charm and quirky street art. But just beyond the old town, the island feels completely different. Today we're heading up Penang Hill on one of the steepest funicular railways in the world, rising high above the city into the rainforest. From there we explore the incredible Kek Lok Si, the largest Buddhist temple in Malaysia. We're Chris and Lydia. This is part 2 of our 48 hours in Penang.
Good morning from Penang. We've come up to Penang Hill this morning, bright and early, so that we can catch a funicular up to the top and hopefully get a good view of Georgetown this morning.
Yeah, we've heard it's got great views. We came out early to beat the heat, but it's pretty cloudy anyway, and it's nice and pleasant, isn't it? So It might be a blessing in disguise, it's cloud cover. But anyway, let's get our tickets and catch the funicular.
But first, coffee.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, there wasn't much open at the base of the funicular, so Lydia's coffee would have to wait until we reached the top.
So the tickets up Penang Hill return are 30 ringgits per person. Here it is.
It's just said it feels like a Disneyland ride.
Malaysia's newest UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, Penang Hill.
Less than 30 minutes from Georgetown, Penang Hill rises 800 metres above the city to the island's highest point. For more than a century, this railway has carried people up into the rainforest. It's one of the steepest funiculars in the world, and the 2-kilometre journey is an experience in itself. Right beside the upper funicular station, the Skywalk gives you your first panoramic views across Georgetown, Penang Island and out to the mainland.
Well, the clouds are down, so...
Still reasonably clear. You can still get a good overall of the town down below, and the bridge, you can see the bridge, the big long Penang bridge there. But we're going to come back in the afternoon and hopefully the clouds have lifted a little bit and we get a better view.
And if the Skywalk is a little crowded, don't worry, there's plenty of other great viewpoints just a few steps further on.
This is Georgetown over here, and you can see the top, the big building there that we watched the fireworks from on New Year's. Lydia's on a mission to find coffee.
Penang Hill was developed during the British colonial era as a cool escape from the heat of Georgetown, and it is noticeably cooler up here.
I've had a quick change just to let you know why I'm in different clothes. I got a little bit chilly, and I packed these for the temple this afternoon. So I've just popped them on for now, just to be a little bit warmer. It's not cold, but it's just nice to be a bit warmer.
She found her coffee.
I'm slowly waking up.
It's not just the views that bring people up Penang Hill, it's also famous for its nature trails, especially the habitat, where you experience the rainforest from elevated walkways and canopy walks high above the trees.
Oh, watch out for the monkeys above your head. 60 ringgits each to go into the habitat and do the walk through the forest. We're in the habitat nature walk now, and it's actually a rainforest. It's a protected rainforest. It was a pathway that was built back in the 1800s by the British. It's been protected since 1911. It offers a 1.6 kilometre walk through the rainforest.
They have zip line in here as well, which I would have done if we could have, but you need to pre-book it. So that's a tip. If you are planning on coming here and you do want to do zip lining, then plan ahead and book early.
One of the highlights of the habitat is Langur Way, a 230 metre canopy bridge that lets you walk right through the rainforest treetops, 40 metres above the forest floor.
It is sturdy. It's not a swinging, you'd expect it to be a swinging bridge, but he did say it's very sturdy and it's solid.
Oh,
There's
I can
no
still
movement.
feel a little bit of
Can you?
movement. Yeah, when you jump up and down.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Oh yeah, I did feel that move.
We're a long way up.
That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah. And it continues.
Oh, this is a middle bit.
You can exit if you want, or you can keep going.
Okay. Guess we'll keep going.
Yeah, I think so.
Walking out over Langur Way, you're right above the rainforest canopy. This is part of an ancient rainforest system believed to be millions of years old. From here you get a real sense of scale over the forest below, so it's worth taking your time and soaking it all in. As we exited Langur Way, we caught our first glimpse of Penang Island's highest viewpoint, the Crest treetop walk, a circular lookout with 360-degree panoramic views.
You can feel the sun now coming up. Woo.
Been looking everywhere for some animals up here in the rainforest, and I think I finally spotted one. There it is.
Do I make a good squirrel? I wouldn't mind being a squirrel.
Ready to go up?
Yep, let's go. One more flight to go. There's not too many, it's not too steep. Oh, I can feel it warming up now. Oh, it's very bright up here.
Need your sunglasses now.
Whoa.
And the blue sky's coming up.
I'm blinded by the light. So that's where we were. Down there.
What have we got here?
This is the old governor's house. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful place.
British actually cleared the top of Penang Hill back in the late 1700s so they could look across over Georgetown to make sure the French warships weren't coming in to invade them. So they cleared it up here and they built this house for the governor.
So I used to think, how did they get all the materials up here?
Oh,
because
yeah.
they didn't have the funicular back in the day.
No.
But I did see that annually they would import 500 mules to get the tourists up the hill and also all the materials up the hill.
Oh, okay.
But those poor little horses,
Yeah.
they would have had quite the trek to get up here, and there's a lot of material up here. So
Well, the Funicular itself has just celebrated its 100-year anniversary about 2 years ago, so they were able to get their materials, or at least people, up and down the mountain mechanically at least 100 years ago.
From this high point above the trees, the whole island opens up. You really get a sense of just how green Penang really is, something you don't get down in Georgetown. It's definitely worth the climb. From the lofty heights of Crest, we return to our walk through the habitat.
did forget the mozzie repellent.
We did.
There's a few mozzies up
There
here.
is a few under the canopy here.
So another tip, bring your mozzie repellent.
The rainforest here is home to a rich variety of flora and fauna. While we admired the ferns, plants and trees from the path, most of the wildlife seemed happy to stay hidden, although we did spot a black squirrel high up in the canopy. Along the trail were signs showing some of the creatures that call this forest home, a few of which we were very glad not to meet.
So these are the critters that live in the rainforest. I don't really want to find some of them, especially these guys. Ew. Ooh. Not a fan of tarantulas.
Or scorpions.
Or scorpion. I prefer a snake to a spider, just saying.
Yeah, Lydia's a bit of an arachnophobe.
Yeah, not a fan of spiders. which is handy living in Australia. I can cohabit, no, I can't cohabit with them. I'm happy if they live outside. They're not welcome in my house.
There's not very many people around, so...
No, it's lovely. It's actually quite a nice step away from the busyness of the city.
It is.
And just to be back in nature and fresh air. And
it was only a 15-minute drive from Georgetown, so...
It's probably normally 30, but our Grab driver was really quick this morning. I'm like, whoa.
He was a bit of a Mario Andretti, I think.
I think so, and because there wasn't much traffic on the road, I think he really took advantage of that, and yeah, he was hooning through those streets, so I was glad to get there in one piece.
Just walking past, I heard all this buzzing. Couldn't see it at first, but in closer inspection, all these hundreds of bees around this plant, just buzzing around them.
They're little bees.
Yeah.
I'll get the ticket out so we can get out of here.
Yep.
Otherwise you've got to stay the night.
Yep.
There's only one left. I've lost one. See ya.
The gentle downhill walk through the habitat was peaceful and easy. It's not a place to rush. We took our time, soaked up the serenity, and at the end, a shuttle brought us back up the hill to where we started.
Queue here for shuttle service.
Okay.
Please stand behind the red line. But Lydia's always the rebel. She wants to stand in front of the red line.
Back at the top of the hill, we took a walk around the heritage precinct. Traces of Penang Hill's colonial past are still visible in the architecture here. The 19th century gatehouse was built to guard the governor's residence, once a controlled entry point during the colonial era.
The gates are closed, so we won't be getting up there today, but that's where the governor's house is up there.
Close to the gatehouse, we also found an Islamic mosque and a Hindu temple, a reminder of the multicultural mix that exists here on Penang Hill and across Penang Island. But if you do want to visit the temple, be sure to bring some peanuts to pay the shoe rack attendant.
You can't go into the temple without leaving your shoes behind,
And
but there's a shoe guard here. I'm not game to leave my shoes there.
No.
Oh.
By now it was 1 p.m, the sun was out and the view over Georgetown had really opened up. We'd spent 5 hours on Penang Hill and honestly we could easily have stayed longer. The contrast to the busy streets below was dramatic, but our day was far from over. We still had one more epic place to visit.
Our top tip is get here early. We got here about 8 o'clock and the crowds weren't bad, but have a look now. It is now about 1 o'clock and it is packed. We actually upgraded our ticket on the way down to an express ticket. Otherwise we would have been in line for probably another hour or so to just get back on the Funicular to come down. So yeah, well worth the extra 40 ringgits, was that right, Chris? 20 each to upgrade to an express pass on the way down, but that was well worth the investment. It's a bit of a hairy ride coming down. It goes really quick and I was a bit concerned that the brakes weren't going to work, but they did work, thank goodness, and we're here safely. But that's our top tip, make sure that you get here early.
But we haven't finished with Penang Hill quite yet. On the lower slopes there's a very, very famous temple, probably the most important temple for Buddhists in Penang, and it's called the Kek Lok Si Temple. So we might grab a grab and head over there and check that one out.
Before we move on, a quick reminder, we've got plenty more adventures across Malaysia coming up in future videos. So if that sounds like your kind of travel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now let's get back to Kek Lok Si. A 10-minute grab ride brought us to Kek Lok Si. More than just a temple, it's an enormous temple complex, the largest in all of Malaysia. Built into the hillside directly below Penang Hill, the whole complex rises in tiers up the slope. Sure, you can walk up, but in the Penang heat, why would you when you can take the lift?
So this temple is absolutely huge and it's high on the hill. So we've bought tickets on a mechanical incline lift that will take us up to the top of the temple. There's 4 levels, so they tear off a little part of the ticket each time we go up a level. So we get off at level 2, we see that part, then we go up to level 3, then we go up to level 4. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
That's station 2, I think.
This is a bit of a slower pace compared to the Penang Hill. Penang Hill's like, up it goes. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay, get on the back seat.
Yeah. Hold on. Up we go.
We're in the back of the golf cart, heading up to the next station, I'm guessing. Looks like we bypassed that one. So we go to the left. I think they said, did they? This looks more like a gift shop than a prayer hall.
Maybe
Where's the
that's
prayer
it.
hall?
Do you want
Maybe
a
we
drink?
go the other way, do we? Hello, Mickey.
Now
Mickey Mouse.
that's someone I didn't expect to find up here in a Buddhist temple.
No, that's right.
We'd found the main prayer hall and instantly the energy changed. The noise of the gift shops gave way to the scent of incense and a calm, respectful atmosphere shared by worshippers and visitors alike. There was quite a bit of restoration work going on, but I guess that's only natural in a temple complex of this age and scale.
Be a lot of work to keep it, to restore it. That's all.
Yeah, there's a lot of restoration going on. It's probably a continuous work in progress, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, we have to go the incline lift again to the next statue. Back through the gift shops, back past Mickey.
See you, Mickey.
It's very slow.
Exit through the gift shop.
Well, there you're right. It is another gift shop. Quite a large one.
Exiting the upper lift station, nothing had prepared us for the incredible sight that opened up before us.
Wow.
Wow, that is huge. I don't think the camera will give it.
Unbelievable.
Towering above the temple stood the statue of Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy, watching over the city below. One of Penang's most iconic landmarks, it was only now, standing beneath her, that we truly grasped the scale of this 30-metre bronze figure.
Now I know why they need a gift shop at every exit. To maintain this property would cost a fortune. This is huge. It's very impressive, very impressive. Oh, look at this.
Oh, you want...
I want that. Can we take that home? Do they have one of them in the gift shop that I can buy?
Yeah,
cute.
you can put them in your hand luggage and carry them.
Yeah.
I'm not carrying your hand luggage.
Yeah.
Kuan Yin statue sits within an impressive pavilion supported by 16 carved columns and a beautifully painted ceiling. Around it, every element carries meaning. Lions and elephants stand as guardians, symbolising fearlessness and steady wisdom. The protectors Heng and Ha watch over the space, while a court of 100 smaller Kuan Yin statues surrounds the pavilion in quiet repetition. At the centre, a prayer platform is filled with incense and offerings, adding to the sense of devotion throughout the space. We managed to explore for about 30 minutes under the Penang sun without melting, before braving the gift shops once more to catch the air-conditioned lift back down the hill. The lift ticket was 8 ringgits each way. Some people choose to take the lift up and walk back down, stopping along the way to explore the temple halls and pagodas. But we were more than happy to escape the oppressive heat and take the easy option. From there we headed back to Georgetown, where we were hoping to get some relief from the heat at the clan jetties by the waterfront. This series of 7 jetties is made up of traditional wooden stilt villages built over the water, each one originally home to different Chinese clan families who settled in Penang generations ago. And we're back down at the clan jetties. Wow. We're at the Chu jetty at the moment, and this is the most popular and I guess commercial of all the clan jetties. And it's a big one, there's lots and lots of residences.
Lots to do on the clan Chu.
Is there?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Well, I'll have a wander around and see. Well, that brings to an end our 2 days in Georgetown, Penang.
Sadly.
Sadly, yeah. Thanks very much for coming along with us. We'll definitely be coming back.
And hopefully you'll come roving with us again soon and join us for our next adventure, because we've got a lot more to show you.
Yep, we're heading south on a train next time down.
Yes, don't give too much away.
No, okay.
That's a wrap for today, and
right.
We hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye for now. If you haven't seen part 1 of our Penang series yet, we'll link it on the screen for you here. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the rest of our adventures across Malaysia. We've got so much more coming up. See you in the next one.